This week on Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are talking about 312 Forbidden Root, and we dive into some of the events happening this weekend for St. Patrick's Day. All that and more on this week's episode. What did we do these last 3 weeks, Zoe? What'd you make it to?
Yeah, because, you know, get a cork knocked out, boop, it just flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it. The legend, Mr. Pete Crowley. I love Pete Crowley, man.
How's that beer? It's what you think it is.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
And it is not 312 day, it's 313 day, but you're probably hearing this
on 314 or 315 day.
We're drinking 312.
Yeah.
This is the dry hopped version from Goose Island. Did you get to have any of this yesterday on the day?
I tried a little bit of it yesterday. Yeah. You know. Tradition.
Yeah. So that's why there's only 3 cans, because I drank one yesterday. If you're watching the video version, you only see 3 cans. But
yeah.
What do you think?
It's pleasant. Reminds me of like white wine when I smell it.
Okay.
You know, I think they had a chance to do something cool with this beer, and they kind of did, right? Like, well, you know how I am. I'm always in a hazy state of mind. So if you have a wheat ale in your
state of mind,
drunken and hazy. If you have a wheat ale, you got a chance to do something cool. Blow it out with hops, make it super cloudy. If you have a wheat ale in your arsenal already, especially a limited one like this. So I mean, they tweaked the profile a little bit. You know, I do like that. It reminds me of like maybe the first time I had a 312. Reminds me of that. But it's safe. It's smashable. It's fun. I hate the word smashable.
Smashable.
Wish I could take that
Crushable.
back. It's crushable. You know, it's fine.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. It's kind of going to be disappointed that this might not carry over to the summer. I have no idea what this kind of availability is going to be. It's dry hop, so you're going to want to drink this pretty fresh. But
my understanding is that it's like Saaz hops, like classic German hops that they dry hopped it with. One confirmation on that though, because it's not on the can. But you know.
But yeah, I could see this tasting really nice in the summer. I know we're in this like springtime where it's snowing and also warm in the same day.
Yeah, it's weird.
So
I tell you something, man. What they did nail though is this can, man. Because I'm looking at the there's a map of the north side on this can running from the lake all the way to Lake, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun detail in the little sticker here.
Yeah, it's great. So I really dig the can, and then it gives us a chance to be excited about 312 again. And I don't think people who
beer people.
I don't think beer people are excited about 312 at all. This gives us some excitement around what is the beer that probably made them. This is the reason why they were able to sell their company, right?
Yeah, a little bit, and the 20 years of history.
And 20 years of history, yeah. And then they they're making this beer. I think at one point, a couple years ago, this was like on some tour, 55% of all the beer they made as a crew was 312.
Yeah.
So. Definitely gives them the reach. This is one of their home runs, really, when you look at the history of it. So
yeah. All right, so we'll be crushing these cans here, or smashing these cans throughout this episode. But if you've never listened to Chicago Beer Pass, what we do here is we talk about beer just like that. Stuff we went to this past week and things coming up. Yeah. And so let's dive into what we went to this week. We were talking about 312 day.
Brad, I wish I went to more, man. You know.
Oh, okay.
I was hanging out in the Gold Coast. I was at like a Stone Crab event, nothing to do with beer, and sucking is what I was doing.
So nothing. You didn't do anything this week.
You know, okay. I'm telling people at the crab event, yeah, I'm in the beer. They're like, oh, well, we don't even really sell beer here. I'm like, great. Good talk.
Like, what am I doing here? I have stuff to talk about and write about.
Yeah.
You guys are killing my vibe. The only thing I went to is I went over to Forbidden Root on the day they were releasing cans of Ghost Tropic.
Right on. Now, what's Ghost Tropic?
So it is their double IPA. It's a New England IPA.
Yeah.
Juicy pineapple. I picked up some cans. I was going to bring them for this episode, but I said we were going to drink 312. I need to get some 312.
I'm glad we're revisiting this because the one I had yesterday wasn't as good as this one. I picked some up from Jewel. It was like $6. Good pricing.
Yeah.
Good pricing on a four pack of those.
But yeah, on draft it was great. They also, Forbidden Root, stepping back, they also recently celebrated their 2-year anniversary. That same week. I was like going over there. I was like, oh, is it their 2-year anniversary? So I checked Twitter and then like, Ghost Tropic cans available at 8 a.m. or whatever time they opened. Maybe it was like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. Maybe there'll be cans left and I can pick some up. And yeah, there was lots of cans. It was on draft.
Did you try it on draft too?
Yeah, it was great on draft. They also had a grapefruit version of it, which is you have a New England IPA and then you have a grapefruit version of it. That seems kind of redundant. That's a hat on a hat kind of thing.
No. I'm with you. That's exactly what that is.
Even the bartender, someone else asked about it. They're like, "Oh, what do you think of the grapefruit version?" They're like, "It's kind of the same." Like, but the person ordering was like, "Well, I've never had it, so I will take that." Like, all right, you're like a real beer nerd when you're like, the bartender's like, "It's fine." Well, I've never had it, so I better get it.
Yeah.
That was great. I had another beer. They had another New England IPA on. Last couple weeks been chasing this Haze. For me, like dogging on it for like months.
You're coming around.
I'm like, I'm down. All right.
It's fun.
Yeah, and they make for nice pictures too.
Yeah, that's true. They're bold. They're cloudy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't reflect back in the glass when you take the picture. You don't see yourself.
Oh man.
But yeah, the beer was great. We'll be talking about it again next week, so maybe that also helps. Not drinking it here, we can talk about it twice.
Right on.
It was packed. I was there Saturday evening, early or late afternoon, early evening, so it was busy. And I was just sitting at the bar by myself, just typing stuff out on my phone. So it was kind of a weird, surreal thing. Like it's Saturday was getting going, and I'm just like, just came in to try this. And then I went home and watched Black Mirror.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh man, I never. Netflix has so much original programming. It's ridiculous. You can get lost in that shit.
Yeah.
I was talking about houses. I was like, started watching the world's most extraordinary houses. Oh, but yeah, man, I really like their interpretation of what a brew pub should be. It puts you in mind of Band of Bohemia. I think Band of Bohemia is like a different gear, but most brew pubs are just wood and steel, and this is those things too. But it's carefully decorated with all these botanicals, and,
right? Yeah.
Their thing about just botanical forward beers, and and I remember being in that space when it was just like a little, it was like a storefront like office. And they had that really low ceiling, with those weird tiles that you can push up on the
the
tile
drop
roof.
ceiling,
Yeah, and to see it now, to see that transformation is just, it's always impressive every time I'm in there. It reminds me of seeing it when it was the other thing.
And like I wasn't a huge fan of their beer for a long time.
Hit and miss. I've had some, and I was just like, well, these aren't. They're too advanced for me. I learned that term recently.
But now, after 2 years, they dialed back the like, hey, we're going to find this weird root and put it in the botanical kind of angle, and kind of started making more beers along with those kind of different another ones. So I think that's helped bridge that gap and kind of, I don't know, made me like them a little more.
Yeah, they used to like not read what was stuffed in the suggestion box. Now now they might be taking suggestions.
Same thing I think we've talked about. Off Color did that too, where the beers were weird names and you didn't know what this was, and so you didn't drink it. And so they adapt and they figure it out. Like, we don't call this I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right, because the
like Gorkix,
or even the Goza.
Yeah.
The Goza ended up becoming like a blended wheat beer.
Yes.
It's a little more palatable for novice. And then
I feel like
there was the second beer.
It was like
I think it was Scurry. Right?
Yeah, but it was called like a Gorkix.
It had a name, and you're like, dude,
I don't remember.
This is hardcore, but it was basically like a dark ale with honey.
Yeah, and that's a traditional style.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the name. I'm blanking on it right now. But yeah, so they changed the name, or they changed what they call the style.
Like yeah.
Yeah, even though
The description.
it's still the same.
The description changed. What is scurry? Now you're gonna drive me nuts.
So I think Forbidden Root's done a little bit of that too, realizing like, oh, maybe someone doesn't want ginger root beer, but they'll drink a wheat beer with ginger or something.
Yeah, right. A dormant, back to off-color scurry, it's a dormant German style called a Kottbusser.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm probably saying that wrong. But yeah, it's basically a dark ale with honey and oats. But
Yeah.
but
So
that's
now I think they just call it a dark ale.
Yeah.
They don't have that name on there because it scares people, right?
Like, oh my God. No. But
Where's my dry hopped wheat beer?
I guess you do need balance for people. You know, you need like a shallow end of the pool, if you will. You need that,
Yeah.
I guess, for some people.
Yeah.
You know, or just, or not.
So, really good. Yeah, Ghost Tropic. If you can still pick up cans from Forbidden Root, make your way over there and grab it. I will say, I'll probably mention this next week.
Mm-hmm.
$17 for a 4-pack.
There you
tall.
go.
You talked about
This
it
was-
$6.99?
That's
or
big. That's big beer right there, though. That's the AB pockets. This is the regular people, the true independent craft brewers, can't play that game
Yeah.
with their They can't play that $6 price point, Brad.
But
They got a small business to run, man.
that can, what is it? What's that? $18. So it's what? A little over $4.50, like $4.50 a can. Right?
I'm all in on this 312, by the way. I'm fucking.
It cost me $5 to get it on draft, and your can
That's
is
weird.
now just as much. Come on.
That's weird.
I almost laughed at that lady. I was like, if I didn't have a podcast that we drank different beer all the time, I would
Yeah.
not be buying this right now.
That's weird, right? Yeah, 18 in cans, $5 on draft.
At the brewery. You didn't even,
I don't
it didn't even
understand.
go anywhere.
It sounds just like our friends at Corridor.
Yeah. Or Mars.
Yeah, or Mars.
Beer's too damn
Like,
expensive.
you're the big winner here if you drink it here, but the same beer in a can, well, that's gonna cost you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will harp on this next week too. So that's enough for now. But that I think does it. That was the only event I made it to, or not even. It was an event because it was a can release, but the only beer stop I made it to this past week. So
Yeah, there was some stuff going on this week. Joey Perp and Danny Brown. We talked about that at the House of Vans. That was the 312 big concert. Didn't make it to that. That's probably the only thing I wanted to make it to that I didn't go to.
were you drinking? Did you have a best thing you drank this week?
You know, I did actually. It was I found at Whole Foods. I found Hopewell's. I assume it was their offering at Uppers and Downers, because it was an Imperial Coffee Stout with metric coffee,
Okay.
and I thought that was really good, man.
No, their coffee beer is really good. I don't know if I've had the Imperial version, but
Yeah,
you know,
this was and that's just what it was called. Yeah, it showcased some bean from Honduras, but metric, which was across the street from Intelligentsia, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that whole Sparrow metric thing near Intelligentsia, near Goose thing, I didn't know that existed at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to metric, but I didn't know Sparrow's right down the street apparently.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a happening area, man.
sure.
Oh yeah, so
So that was the best thing.
that was the best thing. I
What is
had
it called?
this week.
Deluxe?
It's just called Deluxe, an Imperial Coffee Stout.
Okay. Yeah. Their
Yeah.
regular coffee stout is one of my favorite. Or their
Yeah.
coffee. I think it's just a coffee beer. It might be like a coffee ale. It's
That
really
was one of those crews where I went there when they opened, like we do, because we're in the golden era of brew pubs, right? Like we've never seen tap rooms open at this rate. And I was not a fan, man. The first couple times I went, I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I went for the dinner, the Nico Asteria dinner, and
Yeah.
then I don't know if the beers I think changed.
They wined and dined you.
And
And then you're like, all right.
I'm like, I see all of a sudden the skies opened up. I'm like, I see what you guys are trying to do here now. This is great. But now, man, when I see them, I'm checking for them, and I like their artwork. You know, great story this week in the Chicago. I think it was like Chicago Magazine or Chicagoist.
Yeah.
About how art forward some of these packaging.
Chicago best. Like it was Chicago's great beer designs, kind of. things. Yeah.
Yeah, Hopewell's on there, man, for keeping it simplistic. And, they've got a ton of space at Hopewell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all underground.
Oh, really?
Like massive.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Like 30-barrel fermenters under there.
Oh,
like,
wow.
They're ready to flood the city with booze. So, beer. Yeah, so.
Nice.
Right.
The best thing I drank, it had to have been that Ghost Tropic. So.
Ghost Tropic was nice, huh?
Yeah. I'm complaining about this $18, but it was good.
Because like you said, it's a short list, man. You can go to Corridor, you can go to Forbidden Root, and yeah, you probably can't name 5 more places that'll roll out that style consistently.
Yeah, Alarmist is doing it
Alarmist,
now.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
Yeah, I know I'll be drinking over at Burnt City here, I think tomorrow. So interested to see what they have to offer.
Yeah, because I just saw that they their dry hop double IPA is out. It just came out.
That sounds. I'm going for like a meetup, and that sounds like a dangerous beer.
Yeah.
To just like hold yourself together.
Oh, get after it, man. Overwhelm yourself. That's the way. That's the way to go, man.
That'd be professional, man. Cool. Well, that leads into this coming week. Like I said, I'll be over at Burnt City, but that's not a beer event at all.
Right
but
on.
we do have some events happening. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend.
It is. It's we're a big St. Patty's Day
You
town.
got your green on. You got
I'm
green
rocking.
Goose. We're drinking Goose Island beer. He's wearing the green shirt.
I probably would have worn this how we did the Goose Island. We were going to do a Goose Island nap and it got scratched, but I would have worn the same thing. Laundered. But yeah, man, it's one of we dye the river green, and it seems to stay green like all fucking year, honestly. But this town goes nuts, almost a little too nuts. Yeah. But whatever, St. Patty's Day. A lot of fun stuff going on. Let's just start with Patty Longs, right? We'll keep it. We won't go through all the stuff. It's a citywide party.
Yeah.
Right.
If there's an Irish bar, it has an event. But stay away from green beer.
Man, and I saw green cheese curds at Farmhouse. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Farmhouse, I like you guys.
All right, so Patty Longs.
Oh, yeah, they're doing St. Patty's Day all day long live rugby games.
Well, yeah, it is all day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 7 a.m. start. I like a 7 a.m. start for a bar. That's a proper bar right there.
I am not up at 7 a.m. to go to the bar.
Corned beef and cabbage all day. Rugby on TV all day. 6 or 7
You
countries.
could roll like real late and go to the 4 a.m. bars like Friday. Hit up IHOP or Golden Nugget.
Refuel. Get some
and
downtime.
7 a.m. Go.
Man.
And then head towards the river dying, right?
And if you're lucky, you'll get to see world champion bagpiper Davy Jones. He's performing live at Patty Long's on St. Patty's Day, man. Huh? If you're a world champion bagpiper, your name's probably Davy Jones.
I guess, yeah. It's Davy something,
That all works out.
Or Danny, or Davy.
That all works out. I haven't, when I was growing up, man, the St. Patty's Day party to be at was Stout Fest. It was the anti-St. Patty's Day party.
Oh, yeah, that did always happen on St. Patrick's Day weekend.
And it was a full-on shit show, but it was amazing. And I didn't want to be anywhere else on St. Patrick's Day. So.
But that doesn't exist anymore,
No,
right?
I think they just had, a change of heart, and now it's just, shifted, to be around in the same season, but not St. Patty's Day.
Okay. Because I haven't heard word of it happening.
I'm not a fan of, by the way. Whatever, they didn't ask me.
Cool. So Patty Longs, get there 7 a.m.
Yeah. If you're looking for something to do Friday on the 16th to start off your St. Patty's Day weekend, there's cosplay at Revolution. So 6 to 10. So it's a C2E2 cosplay party. Cosplay party.
Is C2E2 this weekend also?
I've never been to C2E2. I don't know.
I don't know if it's this weekend.
But you can win passes to C2E2 at this thing.
Oh, then it's not this weekend. It must be like next weekend or coming up.
Yeah.
I've been to it. I haven't looked into when it's happening this year.
Yeah, I feel like people were complaining that there's a costume party in Rosemont. I want to say Comic-Con and C2E2 are like the same weekend. And it's like forcing a split. You got to go to one or the other. One's in Rosemont, one's like downtown.
Oh, for real?
That's what I was hearing. Yeah. I don't dress up, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's happening this weekend. Let's see. Saturday, St. Patty's Day, the good folks at Beta Brow are rounding up a Southside Brewery bus tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
This is going to run all day. This is 1 to 9 p.m. Let me run down the stops for you real quick. Beta Brow, Alulu, Reggie's Rock Bar, Low Res, Motor Row, and Weiner.
Nice.
So
I gotta go to Motor Row, man. I haven't been.
your boy Frank, we had Frank on the show.
Yeah, we did.
Frank
Lasandrello.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
He's he got picked up by, his beer is sold at McCormick Place, which is cool. And he's a fun guy. They got a nice space if you haven't been.
Yeah.
I love their space. 2 floors.
Man, I gotta go.
Yeah.
That's cool. I know. I may try to go over to Chief O'Neill's.
Right on.
That's huge. Like, it's one of those places I've been trying to go to for a long time. Maeve's also wanted to go there for years.
Yeah.
People like Gary Valentine and just beer people talk about this being the Irish bar.
Up in beautiful Avondale, Chicago.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's like Avondale, Old Irving, like that kind
Yeah.
of line, right?
Yeah. Sneaky good, that place.
I've never been.
Sneaky good.
But they have like a family brunch, I think, like early on, like 7 a.m. to 11. Then they have like another brunch that happens to like 2, like a brunch buffet kind of thing. So you got to get a buffet for breakfast or brunch on St. Patrick's Day because you'll probably be drinking quite a bit.
Yeah. And I'm amazed at places, man. Like I was lucky enough to go to Dublin, and that whole island has like 5 million people on it, and I'm amazed at how much that culture transfers over to, towns like ours. So really the whole country, people go nuts over, like, so many people are of Irish heritage it dwarfs the actual number of people in Ireland. Like it's such an embraced scene. Especially, on St. Patty's Day. So
For sure.
That's cool. Yeah.
So then anything else Saturday?
No, nothing else Saturday, but Sunday, you can finish up your weekend with the good folks at Off Color.
Okay.
They're going to be releasing Eek again. Eek, of course, is the, I believe it's a base recipe for Miller Lite, but then it uses the house yeast at Off Color.
Yeah.
And then they'll have all formats of, this is at the Mousetrap, all formats of Miller High Life will be flowing.
Format?
Yeah, so like all the different bottle styles.
Oh.
There's like, there's a stumpy bottle, that's my favorite.
Okay.
And the 12-ounce joint, and then like the big 32, the 40.
Okay.
Like all the formats.
Okay. I was like thinking like the dry hop version.
Oh man, how dope would that be?
Miller High Life with coffee.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what?
You know who I thought nailed like that? What was the one that Mars made that we had it on the show? Chug Life.
Yeah.
I thought they nailed that.
Yeah, that was. I think we did Eek, or we had Eek last year when they released it, and it was pretty good. I think Chug Life tasted more like Miller High Life than I expected Eek to taste like that, but it was an Off Color beer.
Yeah, Eek's like a straight up wild ale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eek's really good with breakfast. Yeah, it's cool beer. Large format bottles for that. Yeah. And then finally, Monday leads us right into Whiskey Week, because Whiskey Fest is coming up next week.
What?
So you can hang out Monday night at Delilah's and get a whiskey class from Mr. Mike Miller himself. I love Mike Miller.
Okay.
Man, he's the best. He'll tell you the differences between bourbon, rye, Scotch, Irish whiskeys, and other international whiskeys. And that's part of their Whiskey Week program. As you know, they're a big whiskey hub. I would say they got like 500 whiskeys.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The legendary Delilah's next door to Burnt City.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Maybe maybe we should do. It's Whiskey Week. We'll do a special whiskey episode.
Man, I'm in.
I know I had a bunch. I might have only bourbons. I don't know. Same.
Yeah. A lot of it's the same. I'm going to a Tullamore Dew event Thursday as part of Whiskey Week.
Okay, they might send something our way.
That'd be cool.
I was talking to them.
Tullamore Dew?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this one's finished in rum cask.
Okay.
So I'm curious. And I just like the stories. Yeah.
So maybe keep an eye out. I don't know keep an eye out on Twitter, because I'll let you know if we tweet something out about a whiskey episode. Maybe we'll just taste some whiskey.
Yeah. But yeah. St. Patty's Day. I like on a final St. Patty's note, the dry Irish Stout is probably my favorite style. Locally, I think Buckle Down does a really good one, and so does Haymarket. Both do really good styles. So
I'm a huge fan of Brian Boru.
Oh man, the red ale
from Free
from
Floyd's.
Floyd's.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it around.
It's been a while, right?
Right? I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. Brian Baru. Whew.
Yeah.
So good.
That luscious flowing red hair. He's like a full-on Viking on the label.
Yeah, my wife said she would leave me for Brian Baru.
Ah! Yeah, bud, you're in trouble. I think a lot of people's wives, a lot of husbands are in trouble if Brian Baru shows up. Oh man, that's good.
So yeah, I may have to see if there's bottles or keep an eye out for that. But man, yeah, gotta get. We should be drinking Irish beer on this episode. Whew.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, but yeah, man, that's all I got for events, man.
cool. Well, before we wrap up here, any news? Anything that's been happening?
Yeah,
Are
we
we
do.
out of 312?
No,
Oh, we
there's a
still
little bit
got-
left. Is it pouring good, right?
Yeah.
We got let's talk about Ravinia, man.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Ravinia Beer Company, who we've had their beer on the show. We always had questions about, them moving into a space in Chicago and where they making the beer and all this jazz.
And are they a part of Ravinia?
Yeah,
Ravinia.
So Ravinia Festival, which is like 125 years old, came out and said, first of all, we don't make beer. And also, if you're going to call yourself Ravinia Beer Company, we want royalties.
Right.
So,
But the Ravinia Music Festival is in Ravinia, right? Ravinia is a town, right?
I mean,
is it a town
no,
or is it?
it's in Highland Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
then I
and
was-
it's like
But there's a Ravinia stop.
there's a Ravinia stop for the festival.
Okay,
And
just like there's a Chinatown stop on the blue line. It's
right,
not-
but Chinatown's not like I don't know. I don't know if it's an official neighborhood, but something about like
Well, yeah.
what's the word when you like annex or join? Like I think Ravinia was its own thing, but it joined Highland Park. So now officially the Ravinia is in Highland Park, right? So Highland Park, which is a 501c3 nonprofit, it's like, no, bro, we really need you to give up this cash if you want to use this name.
Damn.
And Ravinia's like, no, this is bullshit because the space we want to occupy used to be home to like a Ravinia barbecue. So it's like,
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's
yeah.
new. That's a new
And then
development.
it's like, so why are you coming after us for cash? I mean, Ravinia it's not exclusively your name. And then not only that, but we got empty storefronts near the Ravinia Festival. Like this can be an anchor for like, a redevelopment essentially.
Right. That's what we were saying. Why isn't Ravinia beer in
Yeah.
Ravinia?
So this
Were we helping fuel this misconception of the story? Because
I kind of feel bad if that's true. Like, whoops. But no, apparently, like Ravinia Barbecue had like a license for that name from 1985 to 2015 when Ravinia Beer Company opened, and there was never a dispute from Ravinia Festival, right? And yeah, this is weird, man. But they've got like these signatures, and they're protesting this because they're saying, hey, this is the wrong way to use your leverage for this area. This is the wrong way to go about this, and you need to let us have this name and don't charge us because we're bringing visibility to our area, which we got empty, vacant retail properties here. Like, what is wrong with you? Get out of our way. That's their approach.
okay, I agree that it's bringing the name because we were under the assumption that this was in Ravinia.
Like, why else would you call it that? Yeah.
That's the other. Are these guys from Highland Park / Ravinia?
I mean, it sounds like they're from that area and they want to set up shop in Ravinia.
Eventually.
Right? And they're on target. They were on target to do that this spring.
Well,
but-
why not just like, hey, Ravinia, like the place, scoop some of that cash when they're there. Like, hey, okay, do your thing now, build it up, and when you're here, you give us a bigger cut.
Right. And then, why not work it out by buying product from them? Maybe since you're a 501c3, at a steeply discounted rate as a way of being a good neighbor instead of being currently a nonprofit that had $25 million in revenue last year.
Yeah, Highland Park is rich. It is a rich.
It's rich as fuck. It's the top tier of wealth in this area.
Yeah.
Is the North Shore. Like,
Yeah, if you're living in Highland Park, yeah, you can afford it.
It all sounds like it's a little disappointing. It all sounds a little greedy. Yeah. In addition to the $25 million revenue last year, they have a $28 million fixed asset fund. So they got a couple coins up there.
But you don't get that much money by letting people just get by, right?
These are facts, Brad. You don't make $25 million a year by letting people use your name.
Yeah, right.
I agree with that. So that's where they are. It sounds like they want to open in spring, but this is like derailing all that shit. So
I feel super bad for them. Also, it was very confusing.
It was, man. You know,
I
because it's like we're Ravinia, but yeah, we're moving into what is it, Portage Park?
well,
you
first
know?
they were gonna move into the break room space,
Right.
or not really. Maybe that was all just a rumor. Because
Ravinia, man. So that's in the news this
now
week.
there's even more questions.
I do
Oh
have
my
more
God.
questions. Yeah, like the more questions I ask is like the more I have questions. You know?
Yeah. So what's to stop them from just opening or changing the name, right? That's logically what's going to happen. Like they'd be like, "Oh, you want to take a piece of us? Screw you. We're Rivarnia."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
or
mean,
not.
because Beguile started out as Argyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were saying I forgot about it. Like Alarmist started off as Panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this kind of thing happens. You
Yeah.
know, so
Like they could call it what's the number on the metro stop? They could be like, "We're third metro stop from the city."
Yeah.
Like that's our name. Like
yeah, or
huh.
you could be the Highland Park Beer Company. You know,
Well,
or,
you might want to do that.
That kinda,
Like, yeah.
But yeah, I thought Ravinia was cool because, dude, you've been to Ravinia. Like,
No, I never been.
Ravinia is pretty badass. I mean, as far as like, well, it's like it's an outdoor park where you in BYOB, but then like, you know where I would just bring a blanket to a BYOB event. People are bringing like full on like cedar
Yeah.
tables from their backyard with like candles, like votive with the holders. Like it's like
Yeah.
they're all in.
They're in Highland Park. They've got
They're doing what you would do if you lived near Highland Park. That's what they're doing up there. So it's such a cool venue though, man. Yeah, I think I saw like Hall & Oates up there. It was great. But hopefully they get this worked out, man, because I would pregame at Ravinia Brewery before I go see
why. Just like
the orchestra, or whatever I'm going up there
another
for.
thought here. Them being a 501c, couldn't Ravinia Beer Company donate? Why don't they make a beer or donate like $1 from every can goes to Highland Park as a nonprofit? Then they get that charity donation rather than like a percentage of the sales.
There's an opportunity there.
To take advantage of the tax loophole that's probably there.
You could creatively take advantage of the fact that there's nothing like a craft breweries are like what you want to align yourself with, because the spirit of craft beer up to this point has been all about, let's make a few bucks, but let's do something fun for the area we're in, and let's give money back to wherever we lived or whatever causes we care about. That's one of the calling cards of beer anyway.
Yeah.
So this just all seems like way too aggressive, So there's that.
All right. Enough on that. That's
Enough
all.
on
That's
that.
all I got. Yeah.
All right. The 5th annual Firkin Fest tickets went on sale. So that's going to be at
Headquarters, River North.
Headquarters River North.
Yeah, the only headquarters.
The only headquarters. There was one in
Lincoln Park area over by GT Oyster House.
yeah.
And,
This is the old Uncle Fatty's Rum Bar.
yeah.
Yeah, but now it's gone, right?
Yeah, the one downtown is they're right there off of Chicago Avenue and
Yeah, like right in the heart.
Franklin
Yeah.
right by Moody Bible Institute.
Exactly. Yeah, right over there. So this year they're going to do a Rare Bomber giveaway. It's a $40 ticket. We went to this once. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think we went to the first or the second one.
Yeah. Good party. Everybody's making. There's 35 Firkins, and they're all made for this fest.
Okay.
It's kind of like a reverb of like Night of the Living Ales, Day of the Living Ales,
Which we didn't know about.
which we didn't know about. Yeah. So this is called What the Firk, Firkin Fest. It's the 5th anniversary, man. So we're probably going to be at that.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Tickets are on sale for that.
April 8th?
Yeah, that
I
sounds
wanna
about
say-
right. The first Sunday in
Yeah.
April, like the 6th or the 8th. Yeah. And then finally, we talked about Stoutfest 2018. They announced that tickets are going to go on sale March 14th for a party in April.
Okay.
Yeah, so Stoutfest is back, man.
Nice. Is it going to be at Goose Island?
It'll be at the revamped Goose Island Clapboard.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder how, I guess, just picturing it, because I pictured Stoutfest before. They took advantage of like the downstairs space, but they still have that room, the
former,
original Siebel room.
Yeah, I think they were calling it the
Was it the Carl Strauss room?
Strauss room.
But it's not that.
No, it's not that anymore. And then they got
Probably just the side room A.
the side room A, Studio A. And then they got the vintage room in the back, which is where they serve BCS. It kind of feels like a old Chicago bar. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stout Fest, man.
Stout Fest, nice. That's always a good event. We'll try to make it to that too.
Right on.
Especially since we're chilling Goose Island here all the time. Jeez, come on.
Lemony doughy notes in this dry hop version of 312.
Nice. Well, we smashed these cans.
Smashable, bro.
So we should get out of here. Nick, where can people find you? Get in touch when we're not recording here.
Right on, man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD. Chicago Beer Pass is on Twitter at Chicago Beer Pass. Our Instagram, we haven't been making it to so much stuff. It's warming up, though, so that should be blowing up here soon. So follow us there. Or do you like or follow? Check us out on Instagram.
There you go.
Facebook page, /Chicago Beer Pass. And, yeah, be sure to check out the YouTube channel as well. We've been posting beer reviews and other things there. That'll do it for this week's episode. Cheers.
Cheers.